Ebenezer, and I have an invitation.
A new era of the decade holds in Imo State, Nigeria.
Where shall be heaven on earth.
Shout glory!
There's going to be a deluge of God's glory, God's power, God's anointing, healing the sick, massive miracles. Do you live in any state around down the eastern axis?
What glory left? Oh, the absence of glory is the presence of death. It's Greater Works 2020. Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
God spoke to Samuel and said, I'll do a work in your day that the ears of them that hear shall tingle.
Papa, mighty miracle here.
Be my guest as we come to Owerri Crusade.
Date 12th and 13th February 2020 by 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Happening live at Heroes Core, Owerri, Imo State.
Greater Works, Owerri. I'll see you.
All right, thanks for joining us, and we apologize for that intermission. And in another news, Lizzie Johnson Suleiman's More Than Enough gains maximum reception at launch. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman finally dropped her much-anticipated 2020 debut single, More Than Enough, on Friday, 31st January 2020. The track, which was accompanied with an official video, has resonating lyrics that lavishes praise and love on God. Honey, this is your best, said Apostle Johnson Suleiman, her husband, while celebrating her for the dynamism of the More Than Enough project. Also, accolades have come in from across several continents of the world, yielding covers from big names and famous faces only in 24 hours of release. With what can be said on to be a warm reception of the song, one can rightly judge that the single will be an international anthem in no time. Nonetheless, anyone can now stream and download More Than Enough by Lizzie Johnson Suleiman from major digital stores as Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, TikTok, Google Play, Amazon, Pandora, Deezer, amongst others. And coming up next is news from the sports corner, and that's going to be given to you by Ivan Agafe. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
Years comes and goes, flowers and plants wither and dies, but God's faithfulness remaineth. This is how far God has taken us. Come enjoy this surge of excitement as we celebrate Ebenezer 2020, February.
Ebenezer, and I have an invitation.
A new era of the decade holds in Imo State, Nigeria.
Where shall be heaven on earth.
Shout glory!
There's going to be a deluge of God's glory, God's power, God's anointing, healing the sick, massive miracles. Do you live in any state around down the eastern axis?
What glory left? Oh, the absence of glory is the presence of death. It's Greater Works 2020. Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
God spoke to Samuel and said, I'll do a work in your day that the ears of them that hear shall tingle.
Papa, mighty miracle here.
Be my guest as we come to Owerri Crusade.
Date 12th and 13th February 2020 by 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Happening live at Heroes Core, Owerri, Imo State.
Greater Works, Owerri. I'll see you there. Prophet Ebenezer, and I have an invitation.
Manchester United draws as Bruno Fernandes makes debut. I am Ivan Agafe, welcoming you to Sports Corner on Newsdays. Now, after days of dithering, Manchester United wasted no time at all in showcasing their latest toy at Old Trafford. The midfielder no doubt grinning from ear to ear at the prospect of a home debut against a Wolves side containing 5 compatriots. United fans, with thoughts of a mass walkout in protest against the ownership apparently forgotten, gave their new £46.5 million man a huge ovation as his name was announced, along with the customary cheer when he first touched the ball. It proved to be an encouraging, if ineffective, debut as United failed to make the most of second-half territorial dominance against Wolves, the 0-0 draw marking the 3rd time in a row they have been held at home in the league by Nuno Espirito Santo's side. Fernandes was certainly not guilty of not trying. He had more shots on target and attempted more passes than any of his teammates. He nearly also found his range from the dead ball, and at the end, he was awarded man of the match. We hope to see better football from him now going forward. Bayern Munich returns to the top of Bundesliga. After going a year without scoring, Bayern Munich midfielder Thiago Alcantara has now found the net in 3 consecutive Bundesliga matches, serving a timely reminder of his ability and providing the driving force behind his side's return to the league summit. Sometimes tough love can have the desired effect, and the way Thiago has responded to being overlooked by Hansi Flick for his first 3 games in charge is straight from the textbook of the best ways to deal with setbacks. Flick's constructive criticism worked, and since December, Thiago has gone from being one of the last names on the team sheet to the very first, to the extent that he has now played more Bundesliga minutes, 1,221, than any other Bayern midfielder this season. On March the 20th, he was more than just complicit in the defending champions returning to the top of the Bundesliga for the first time since October with a comfortable 3-1 win over Mainz, netting the team's 3rd goal inside the opening 30 minutes to effectively kill the game off before halftime. For anybody who had forgotten that Thiago learned his trade in Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy, the production line which also delivered a certain Lionel Messi. The 28-year-old gave a perfect reminder with his futsal-style kicks in beating Pierre Koundé and then shifting the ball through two more Mainz defenders before using his left foot to beat Robin Zentner with an accomplished finish. Wonderful, wonderful finish. Now, with 107 spares of possession, more than anybody else on the field at the Opel Arena on Saturday, Thiago won 63% of his challenges, and after almost a full year without scoring, he is now doing so for fun. I believe I can say welcome back, Thiago, and congratulations, Bayern, but it is not over yet because they are closely followed by RB Leipzig with just 1 point behind. Now, finally on Sports Corner, Novak Djokovic wins the Australian Open. Yes, Novak Djokovic extended his record by winning his 8th Australian Open single titles on Sunday, defeating Dominic Thiem 6-4, 4-6, 2-6, 6-3, 6-4. The victory allowed Djokovic to reclaim the #1 ranking from Rafael Nadal and to reassert his dominance in Melbourne. Based on the evidence, the hardest task in men's tennis remains defeating Nadal at the French Open. But the second hardest task must be beating Djokovic down the stretch at the Australian Open. He has never lost a semi-final and is now 8-0 in finals after winning his second straight final here. He excels on all surfaces, but he has won nearly half of his 17 Grand Slam singles titles on the medium speed hard courts in Melbourne. Djokovic took quick command of the 5th set, breaking Thiem's serve in the 3rd game. He saved 2 break points in the next game to stay in front. Thiem's last good chance to close the gap came with Djokovic serving at 4-3, but at 30-all, Djokovic hit a wide, bold second serve that surprised Thiem, then closed out the game with a first serve that Thiem could not return. After Thiem held, Djokovic served out the match for the championship. This was the 3rd straight men's Grand Slam final to require 5 sets. Djokovic saved 2 match points before defeating Federer at Wimbledon last year. Nadal then held off Daniil Medvedev, who had rallied from 2 sets down to win the United States Open. I want to say big congratulations to you, Djokovic, for winning the Australian Open and also reclaiming the world #1 ranking. And that wraps things up on Sports Corner for today. I am Ivan Agafe, and it is back to Nicholas Akosile.
Ebenezer, and I have an invitation.
Years comes and goes, flowers and plants wither and dies, but God's faithfulness remaineth. This is how far God has taken us. Come enjoy this surge of excitement as we celebrate Ebenezer 2020, February.
A new era of the decade holds in Imo State, Nigeria.
Where shall be heaven on earth?
Shout glory!
There's going to be a deluge of God's glory, God's power, God's anointing. Healing the sick, massive, massive, massive miracles. Do you live in any state around, down the eastern axis?
When glory left, or that the absence of glory is the presence of death. It's Greater Works 2020. Apostle Johnson Suleiman.
God spoke to Samuel and said, I'll do a work in your day that the ears of them that hear shall tingle.
Mighty miracle here.
Be my guest as we come to Owerri Crusade.
Date 12th and 13th February 2020 by 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Happening live at Heroes Core, Owerri, Imo State.
Greater Works Owerri. I'll see you.
All right, nice one from the sports analyst, Ivan Agafe. And that brings us to the end of the news and news desk for today. And in case you're just joining us, here's the recap of the news headlines. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman's More Than Enough gains maximum reception at launch. Apostle Suleiman's 2020 prophecies, another confirmation at hand. Bayern Munich returns to the top of Bundesliga. And you can also follow us on our social media handles. Thank you once again for watching and staying tuned to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akosile. Do have a wonderful, great day.